It's who I am. It's not. It's who I was, it's who I am, and it's who I will be. Now, I have days where I'm super depressed about this. And I spend the day crying, but that has to be short-lived. It cannot go into a second day. I can feel sorry for myself for a day, neglect everything and everybody, but then I've got to,
life goes on.
Then I got to get in that chair and got managers meetings, and I've got therapy that I've scheduled myself. Therapy almost always drags me out of whatever mood. We'd had lunch at Sosta Cafe. I stood around, had a cigarette with the owner of the place, talking about my little 150 little motorbike. That's pretty much the last thing I remember. Like, I'm really thinking hard. I believe I remember getting on the bike, hitting person, and taking that left. And I don't remember anything after sitting at that light until I was in the hospital.
We're walking up to where he hit the telephone pole. I'm not positive if it's this one or the next one up there, but this is where it happened.
Thinking right when I got in the car, I'm glad I told him I loved him. I saw him in the room. I got back there somehow and they shuffled me away pretty quickly, but when I initially saw him, it just didn't occur to me that this is what it was. It took a long time to wrap around the idea of him being in such a serious condition, because he looked fine. I mean, yeah, his arm was banged up, but he wasn't bruised. Like, his face, you would think that you hit something with your head like that, that there'd be more trauma to what appears to be your overall face and body, and it just wasn't. And he just looked like he was asleep.
Tell us what you can do.
I can wiggle my toes.
Now show us what you can do. Yeah. Oh, and a wink.
We lived very separate lives. She did her thing, I did my thing. We'd meet when we weren't doing things, And so to now come back and start reliving that old life is it's difficult.
Well, but also it's reliving the old life. It's also kind of starting over. SCI in and of itself can be a full-time job.
I'm having a real hard time navigating how to manage a group of people that have never seen me work before,
And to work in a way
it's difficult. I haven't figured that out yet. To be perfectly honest, I have yet to figure out how to show people that I'm that kind of guy, that I'm that kind of a manager, that I'm that kind of a boss, that I'm that kind of an owner, that you don't have to call me Chef. You can just call me Thor. You don't have to call me boss. You don't have to call me Mr. Thor. Just let's leave it with Thor. Because I am one of you guys. I see myself as being no higher than any of my employees because they're only as good as I am. Right?
And so learning to manage in a different way has been really hard, and I think he struggles with it all the time, just emotionally, of not being able to support his team in the way that he really wants to.
It is very hard juggling both the business and the therapy and the relationship, but
He's very lucky.
that I have a brain.
That he has a brain, that he can use it, that he had the business set up in place to come to give him that purpose after an injury like this. It is wild to see it 3 years later. It's still going strong, and there's still so much growth potential, and people are still responding well to it. It's humbling.
My positivity is pretty much all geared towards the fact that I know I'm going to get out of this chair. That's where my positivity is focused.
It is a choice to make the most out of it. You still have to live a life. You still are alive, and you have been given this chance to do something else, and to be active, and to make changes, and to be positive. And it is hard to do that when you're having a rough day, or for me, when I'm watching him just struggle and just be so upset and be in so much pain. And there's literally nothing I can do about it. And to both not be desensitized to that as a reality and maintain the empathy for it. And then also, but all right, but we gotta go. Like we gotta keep it going. And keep things and commitments that we have to stick to. And that's why I think being back here has been very good for him. He has not had enough opportunity to sit there and say, woe is me.
We plan for the worst and hope for the best.
Yeah.
We're barely able to think 4 months out, let alone 2.
We're just trying to make it through the week.
I'd like to be able to give the girl a hug. I'd like to be able to give so many people hugs that deserve it for everything that they've done for me, That's first, that is. Soon as I'm able to get these arms working, I'm gonna wrap them around my dog, or Sarah, wrap them around the trainer that finally got me there.
I don't know. Alright, hold on, we're gonna do a little push. I'm gonna do just a smidge of a push. Ready? Yes! Eating the food. Alright, now put it down. Put it where you want it. Nice. Well done.
Yeah. See, victory.
Yeah.